Hello, everyone who's joined us so far today. The virtual tour has started, but we are just going to wait a few more minutes for more people to join us. So in the meantime, for the 30 or so participants that have joined so far, we would love to learn more about you. If you can just let us know from where in the world you're joining us from today, which Nexford program are you interested in, and hopefully planning to apply to. That way we can have an idea. Are people more into the MBA or the BBA? Perhaps we can touch up on those when we get the chance during the webinar. So don't be shy, just let us know. Are you joining us, from where in the world you're joining us from today? And we'll just do that just for a few minutes until hopefully everyone's joined us. Hey, greetings. I see Ola Bimpe joining from Nigeria, presently enrolled for the MBA. Fantastic. Hi, Andrew. Also, hi, Endurance. You're Endurance Henry from Lagos, Nigeria, and you're interested in the BBA. Fantastic. That's a good choice. We've got Julius from Kenya. I see a lot of people interested in the MBA. All right. Keep them coming, guys. We have Andreas also interested in joining the MBA, but you're joining today from Indonesia. That's great. Hi, Stephen. Hi, Anisette from Ivory Coast. Fantastic. Okay, very specific. MBA specialization in sustainability, February intake. So I hope that you've already enrolled. That way, you may have more info than a lot of people joining us today if you've already completed your application and enrollment. So you know the application and enrollment process. It's fantastic. We will be talking about that as well, guys. Hi, Judah from Ghana. Hi, Peter from Nigeria also. Fantastic. Okay, guys, I feel like we've waited a little, for more people to join. We're getting some introductions in, so that's great. So for those who are just joining, don't worry, the tour hasn't officially started yet, the Nexford virtual tour. We've just been getting some introductions on chat, waiting for people to join. And so to let you know, today's webinar is of course being recorded. So that way, if you need to pop out for any reason, don't worry. You can watch the playback once it's uploaded on our YouTube channel. That's first of all. Second of all, please make sure to send in your questions to the Q&A segment or the Q&A box. You'll find that in the Zoom call. Just make sure if you have any questions for us to put those questions in. And we will get to them at the last portion of the webinar. Right? It's a great opportunity today because we have some lovely people on this tour with me. I'd love to introduce them, but let me just start introducing myself first. So my name is Mai, and I'm a Nexford application specialist. I've been with Nexford for over 3 years now. During that time, I've spoken with so many aspiring learners, such as yourselves, who come from also all over the world. We currently have learners from over 95 countries around the world, by the way. So, one of the most common questions I get, of course, is how exactly will I be studying online? How is the online learning experience at Nexford going to be like? And that's what I'm here to show you guys today. And also the lovely people I have on board with me. We have a faculty member, Dr. Bill, who's with us today. We also have 2 learners. We have Nicholas from Kenya, and we also have Mornay from South Africa. So I'd love for you guys to introduce yourselves. If we can please start with Dr. Bill.
Hello, everyone. Nice to see you. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever the case is. I am Dr. Bill. I live in the United States. I live about 100 kilometers south of New York City, right along the shoreline, around by the ocean. I've been with Nexford for 2.5 years now, I believe, something like that. And I've been enjoying my time with it, meeting so many people from all over the world. It's very interesting. We have some very good interaction in our course rooms, finding out different things from different people, cultures, and so on. The experience for me has been fine. I love working with all these students and watching you come up with your ideas and your thoughts in the classroom. So I'll be back a little bit later, but I just wanted to welcome you. Thank you for being here, and I hope you find some useful information today.
Fantastic. Thanks a lot, Dr. Bill. All right, Mornay, I'd love for you to introduce yourself also and tell everybody what you're studying at Nexford. Tell everybody a bit about yourself.
Hi, I'm Mornay. I'm from South Africa. I live in Pretoria in South Africa, and it's nice and sunny here at the moment. I'm not sure what it's like where you are. I've been with Nexford as an MBA learner from May last year, and I'm really, really enjoying it, and I'm really looking forward to sharing my experience with you. My current position, I work for a design and business communication higher education institution in South Africa, and I am the CSIO, which is the Chief Strategy Implementation Officer. So yeah, I'm looking forward to engage with you guys.
Very impressive. Thanks a lot, Mornay. All right, Nicholas, we'd love to hear from you also. If you could introduce yourself for everybody, also which Nexford program you're studying and a bit about what you do for them.
Well, thank you very much, Mia. My name is Nicholas from Nairobi, Kenya. It's actually 4 p.m. in the evening. It's a cool evening here. It's not sunny, it's not rainy, so it's cool. Well, I'm doing BBA from November 2022. I hope you can see me. I can't see you, Mia.
Yes, I can see you. Okay, thanks a lot, Nicholas. Thanks for joining us also today. All right, we've got the introductions out of the way, so that that way I believe we can officially start our Nexford virtual tour. So again, guys, if anyone has just joined, don't worry, you haven't missed much. You've just missed some introductions from who else will be hosting this webinar with me today. Just to let you know, this webinar is being recorded, so you can ask for a playback or wait for it to be uploaded on Nexford's YouTube channel. And please make sure if you have any questions, just send them in the Q&A section or the Q&A segment so we can get to your questions at the end of the webinar. All right, with that, I will start sharing my screen with you guys so that everybody can start to see the online platform. Okay, with a show of hands, I'd love for everybody to just confirm that everybody can see my screen. All right, thank you, Dr. Bill. Okay, thanks everyone. I can see a lot of participants also starting to raise their hand. Okay, fantastic. So what everybody's currently looking at is the main homepage of our online learning platform. So the learning management system we're using is called Canvas, and it is known to be adopted by top universities like Harvard and Oxford. So I'm sure all of you guys are going to find out that it's super user-friendly, and I'm excited to show you guys some of its features today and how to navigate through the online platform. Right, so of course, I'm not an expert learner, so this is just a demo account, and I will be showing you guys how it does look, though, to be studying online. So if you do get enrolled at Nexford, you first need to, of course, apply and then get enrolled. So those are two different stages of the application that I'm happy to touch up on, hopefully later today, if you guys have any questions about that. But once you're officially enrolled, and let's say you've enrolled in January to start your program on February 1, this means you would already have access from the day that you've enrolled up until you start your official program. So during that whole time, you'll be able to access this online platform, get acquainted with the features, and also take the NXU orientation. So I want to tell you guys what the NXU orientation is about, but let's first explain what these boxes represent. So these boxes represent either courses that you're enrolled in at Nexford or features, or I would say resources that you always have access to, such as the writing lab. And the orientation is a very short course. And by that, I mean it only has 3 modules as opposed to 6 modules. So every Nexford course has 6 modules as well as a final project. And all of the courses are set up in that same way, whereas the orientation only has 3 modules. And the orientation, it is a requirement that you need to complete it. However, it is just a welcome package. It is not an official course that is part of your Nexford program, whether it be an MBA or a BBA, or whichever that you apply to, right? So to explain again, this is what I've opened up right here is this, it is one of the MBA courses. It's called Leadership and Organizational Development. Once I open that up, you'll see that there are 6 modules, like I've explained. as well as a final project. So that is how the courses look like in the module section, whereas the orientation is much shorter. You'll see that it only has 3 modules. So what is the orientation? Like I said, it is like a welcome package. So it gives you everything that you need to know to get started at Nexford. It tells you how to navigate through the online platform, how to reach out to your professor or faculty members or our success team. And I'll tell you what the success team is all about. You can also reach out to fellow learners. It'll tell you all about, how to learn about your grades, how to submit assignments, and so much more. So this tells you everything you need to know to succeed, hopefully, in your online program. And you are required, of course, to complete the orientation before you start your official program. So if you do enroll early and then choose a future program start date, that means you have all that time to get acquainted with the online platform. So the sooner the better, of course. And the sooner you enroll, it also means you have early access to all of the learner benefits at Nexford. And I will tell you guys more about what those benefits are, but let's first jump into the orientation. I will start with the introduction part of the orientation. Let's just refresh that. I see that some people are already sending in questions. That's fantastic. Guys, please make sure. Please make sure to send in your questions, so we will get to them at the end. Okay. So guys, this is the introduction part of the orientation. Right from the beginning, you'll see that there is a welcome video from our founder and CEO, Fadl Tarzi, where he tells everybody a bit about Nexford University, how it started, and Nexford's missions. I'd love to play this for you guys just for a few seconds so everybody has an idea.
It's been said that the future is a convenient place for dreams, so why not dream big? I've always known education changes lives, but I first realized its impact over a decade ago. On my entrepreneurial journey, I saw a gap between the skills of college graduates and the needs of employers. With my own startups, I struggled to find people with the right competencies. For example, I couldn't find a software engineer with effective communication skills. I couldn't find the creative designers who could plan.
Hey guys, that's just a sneak peek for you. Hopefully you can watch it in its entirety once you get enrolled at Nexford. As you scroll at the bottom here, you'll see that there is a written transcript that you can download for the video. So there are written transcripts that you can download for every video embedded in our courses. And I want to just tell you that this video right here is a small example of the different and dynamic elements through which you're going to be doing your studying at Nexford. So it's not just going to be a lot of text. You're going to find videos like these. Sometimes you'll find embedded audio clips. You'll find blogs, or blog length articles rather. You'll find outside resources, even embedded YouTube videos. So there's always something to keep you engaged. Sometimes there will be like little exercises you need to complete. So we just want to make sure, of course, our learners aren't, falling asleep. And like I said, it's not just a lot of text. So I hope I get a chance to show you guys more about those different dynamic elements today. So in the orientation or in the introduction of the orientation, you'll see that from the beginning, we tell you about some things you can join that can help you in your Nexford learning journey, such as our NXU learning communities. So these are actually led by other Nexford learners who are experts in certain fields and industries. So those can be, for example, entrepreneurship, if that is something that you are interested in, or perhaps maybe HR or finance or marketing. So you can join the learning community that is, related to your interests. And then, of course, we have WhatsApp groups. So these WhatsApp study groups are super useful, and I really recommend that you guys join them from the beginning. That can help you. Definitely having a study buddy can help. You'll find that these can be, intake specific, country specific, or program specific, right? So, and we always have new WhatsApp groups starting up every now and again. You can even start up your own WhatsApp group if you don't find one in your specific country, program, or intake. As you keep going through the orientation, we'll tell you more about all the benefits of Nexford that you get, all of the different offerings, what programs we offer, and so on. And then you go through the university starter kit also. So here we tell you more about how the courses are ordered, how you can add more than one course at the same time, how you can take a break. We know that life happens. Sometimes you need to take a break. So of course, regardless of what program you're studying, you should be able to take a break, especially if it's a degree program. So the longer the program, the more months of break that you can take. And we call that a leave of absence. You can learn more about that also through the orientation. You'll learn about, participation deadlines or assignment deadlines and so on. Right. And of course, you will be getting 24/7 assistance throughout your learning journey at Nexford, and that is with the help of faculty members as well as our success team. Right. So I did mention success team earlier, and who that is, basically, they will serve as your coach or your mentor throughout your Nexford learning journey. So if you have any question that is related to your program, or perhaps maybe you're finding a challenge, any kind of challenges, or you want to reach out to your professor and you don't know how to, or so on, anything like that, the success advisor is there to help you. We have so many success advisors from around the world. So there is 24/7 access to them. You can book a call with them or even email them and so on. You can even send them on WhatsApp. All right, guys, so that is just a glimpse into the orientation. Like I said, this is exactly what you need to complete in order to know how to navigate through our online platform and so much more. So let's say you are enrolled in a program officially. You've completed the orientation, and your next course that you're going to start, for example, is Leadership and Organizational Development, due to start on February 1. And you want to know who's actually in this course with you, or who's teaching this course. You'll find in every course in the table of contents here something called people. So if you click on people, you'll find that there is a list. Normally it'll be much longer than this, but it'll be a list of students that are also studying this course with you, due to start February 1, for example. You just need to look for the role of teacher, and that will tell you who is actually teaching this course. So for example, for this one, it is Dr. Bill Reed, so who is with us, of course, today. So I would love for Dr. Bill to take the mic here and maybe tell us a bit about this course section.
I would be happy to, May. Thank you very much, and welcome to the people that are here. And thank you for taking the time out of your day to devote to your future a little bit in these decisions you'll be facing about selecting your education. It says an awful lot about you that you're willing to take your time to do this, time being one of the most valuable commodities we all have. In that idea, these courses are designed to get to the point for you to acquire the learning presented, to demonstrate your learning, and to move on. This particular course is one I'm involved in and have been in since I've been with the university. And you'll see that it has many similar things that Mai just talked about. And do I have control of this, Mai? I'm not. It's not working on my side, so. And I think.
Yes.
Well, I was trying to open up the assignments and I'm not getting any response here. But each course will contain, as you see here, the course syllabus, which is the prime document that outlines the entire course. And I apologize for this not opening. I'm not sure what that problem is. Anyway, the courses are divided into about 6 modules, each one focused on a particular point of the learning. You have the opportunity to go through these in order so that you submit your assignments on time. In the course, we have due dates and so on, where you can put your assignments in and coordinate from there. We also have the opportunity where you can ask your professor questions about the material. You can get back and forth information on that. And feel free to do so. Each professor will run a monthly call-in where you have the opportunity to join a call similar to this, so that we can go over the topics. You can ask any questions you want about the assignments, about the modules. Okay, here we go. We got some things working now. Thank you, Mari. And you'll see just what I was talking about here, that the modules are broken down 1 through 6, and given the assignments in each module. You're given the instructions either to review a case, to review anything that really involves the course. Just let me use as an example here, module module 2 regarding the organizational conflict. If we can open that up, you'll see the assignment wants you to cover the root cause analysis and so on. This is part of the instructions you'll see with each one. It'll go down and cover the topics and what you're expected to do. This part here, I call this the roadmap to you getting an A. This is called the grading rubric. There are a number of topics here that the professor will follow in grading your assignment. It's all listed here, what the professor is looking for and what the expectations are. You'll see at the top of the rubric, the indications for getting a perfect, a perfect score up here and the points that make that happen versus if you don't do as well and you fall off on this side of the chart. You get each of these particular criteria graded and you'll get a feedback from your professor with each assignment. Professors are given a certain number of days to get back to you, so you don't have to wait forever to get your information. And then you can take that information, take your learning, move on to the next course. Everyone in the course also has your own grade book where you'll be able to see what your performance has been throughout the course. And as this is, as you can see, is blank, but that's okay. Each assignment has its own comments and own feedback. It has an announcement section where we will cover any events coming up, or maybe a reminder about an assignment, maybe some common elements in the course. We have a chat area where you're open to make comments and discussions. I'll give you one example of the chat area and how beneficial it can be. I had a class where a gentleman from Nigeria had relocated to Indonesia, but his mother made excellent bread. And we started talking about the topic, and he wanted to open up a bread store, a bread shop or bakery, a bread shop in Indonesia. On the call, he was getting advice from one of our students in China, some of our students in Nigeria, in South Africa. One was from Canada and one was from Egypt. And through this gentleman was acquiring the information to open up his bread store, copying his mother's recipe. I thought that was pretty cool because it's not only about the giant companies that we look at in our case studies, the companies that are worldwide, global. It is the small ones too. Our MBA course covers that entire possibility. So your interests are 99% of the time covered in what we talk about, not just by the content of the courses, but by what you, the students, bring into the course in your own experience in terms of management work. Perhaps you don't have a lot of experience, but that's fine too. You learn from everyone else. It works out that way in these type of courses. I think the online experience has been wonderful. I've been part of it for 23 years, working strictly in the online environment for a number of institutions. And one of the more direct programs I've seen is this one because it is so easily addressable and so clear to understand. A lot of work has gone into the design of these courses so that they are made understandable and not impossible. The object is learning, not particularly to get a solid A throughout the whole course, but if you learn the material, and then you will achieve the goal of the degree you're seeking. I will also add that one of the benefits of our program here is that you learn the material naturally as part of the graduation requirement. The other things you learn are the intangibles. You learn more about yourself. You learn more about breaking your own limitations, exceeding what you thought you could do. And again, showing that you're here on this call today is the first sign that you want to do that. So I encourage you to look through the information that you'll be presented today. Mai will present it. And keep in mind, we'll always have folks around to answer questions after this. If we end this call and you say, oh, I didn't ask this question, there's people you can ask. We have our advisors and so on, and everyone can help you do that and answer your questions so that you can make a good decision about taking this program and feeling confident in where this program will help you. So I'll stop there, but I will be available for questions later, and I'll be back then. Thank you.
Okay, fantastic. Thanks a lot, Dr. Bill. And so sorry, guys, for that moment. I think we're just facing some internet issues, but I hope everybody can see everything just fine now and everybody can hear just fine. So thanks a lot also for explaining more about, the assignments and the grading and all of that. So since we kind of touched up on that topic, I'd love to get some insight from the learners we have with us today. If we can just start with Nicholas, if you can tell everybody a bit about your studying style with Nexford and how you manage your study schedule around your life.
Thank you very much, Mia. First of all, I would say that this was such an interesting and awesome study style. The virtual and online study is something that has been so good because as a businessman, I balance between work, family, and studies. So one of the best things that happened with Nexford is that we have the canvas. That means my school is portable in my pocket, in my phone, in my laptop. So anytime I can get into my class, I can access my materials. So the experience is awesome. I'd say it's awesome. For anybody who wants to experience a virtual study, this is the best thing that you can do. You'll be able to study anytime, so flexible. If you want to study early in the morning, before you go into work, in between your assignments in the office, in between your meetings, you can always look up to your notes, access the LinkedIn materials and all the other materials that are available within the canvas. So I would say this is such an experience for anybody who wants to study in between other activities, be it family, farming, work, all that is. It's the best experience for anybody who wants to learn on the go. I hope I answered you, Mia.
I think we are having a few little technical problems today, but Nicholas, thank you. I see May is okay. I think May is back alive now. Hello.
Was I even audible in that circumstance?
No, we heard you, Nicholas. We did, and it seems mine might be having a little problem, but I think she's back with us now. Mai?
Yes, sorry guys. Yeah, we're having some network issues where I'm at today, so I do apologize for that. But I'm glad that everybody was able to hear Nicholas. I think the issue is in my end. All right. So thanks a lot for that, Nicholas. Yeah, I'm very glad to hear about, like the flexibility also that you're talking about studying at Nexford. I was able to catch that. So I do want to share my screen for a moment here just to talk about also the fact that there is a mobile application, guys. Can everybody see my screen? Show of hand, guys. Hopefully, yeah. Okay, thanks, Dr. Bill. You're always the first to see my screen, so that's good. All right, so there is a mobile application called Canvas Student, and this is something you can download on, your Android phone or your iPhone. So regardless of what phone you have, you should be able to download Canvas Student. As soon as you get enrolled at Nexford, that is when you get, of course, your login information, your login credentials. And then once you do, you simply just search for Nexford University. And then even the application is going to turn very Nexford, right? It's going to go back to our Nexford color. So it's going to look quite similar to this kind of platform. And then you can just use your login info to access your online program. And it is very functional, which means you can, of course, do your assignments on your phone. You can check your grades. You can speak with fellow students or professors. Study on the go, and so much more. So that is one of the many ways you can have your Nexford online experience much easier. And so speaking about that, checking your grades and all from your phone, I'd love to shoot a question here to Mornay. If you can tell everybody a bit about, some notable things about your experience with assessments, assignment submissions, and also getting professor feedback. That's a triple question right there.
Yeah, it is.
Not too hard.
I just want to reiterate, thanks, May. And I just want to reiterate what Dr. Phil, How many times have you been called Dr. Phil, Dr. Bull? And what Dr. Bull was saying about the modular sort of setup of the each module being set up into little bits and those pockets of information. So when I think of the module assignments, I find that they just, those 6 little bits actually compound your knowledge, and so they build a reserve, and you end up using a little bit that you've learned in this for the next one, for the next one, for the next one, and before you know it, you've got this, this reserve of information, which as you go down the line, you keep applying. So as I go through the modules, I'm finding that, oh, hang on, I know that, I learned that over there, or, oh yeah, I remember that from over there. So I'm finding it fascinating as I go through the modules and with the assignments, and I'm really finding it a great, what's the word, a progress of information and a flow of information, and it's actually almost easy. I'm not finding it difficult, which is really nice. In terms of the assignment submissions, these really test your understanding through the application of the learning in a very practical way. So they give you these sort of real life scenarios where you have to apply the knowledge. So I'm finding that the assignment submissions are really cool in that, you're really applying what you're learning. And then that brings you to the professor's feedback, which I've only had a really positive experience in that they really, sort of put you on the right track. I've never had a negative review because the professors are always available. And so I'm always engaging with the professor before the time if I've got a problem. You have a one-on-one or in the group discussion. And initially when I started, because you've got doctors and professors and everything, you feel a little shy about, asking your question. But these are just real live people who engage with you and are super friendly and super knowledgeable and just want to help you. And so I've really had a really positive experience in that I've never actually failed an assignment because I've got all the assistance I needed before I actually had to submit. And then if there ever has been any feedback, I know once it was with the APA, because of course here in South Africa we're used to Harvard, they give you advice and they help you and they guide you, and you set up with your writing coach session, and you get it right. So in terms of the professor's feedback, I've really found a lot of value in that. So I hope that answers your question. If there are any other questions, let me know.
Yeah, that was more than great. Thanks a lot, Mornay, for that. Yeah, I think you're ready to host the tour instead of me today. That was fantastic. All right, so I do want to tell you guys a bit more about how else you can reach out to your professor, for example, or other learners. I'll share my screen again with everybody. Okay, I'm getting that sign that everyone can see my screen, so I hope that's sufficient. Dr. Bill, thanks again. All right, so I'm back to the homepage here, guys, right? This is the main dashboard. I want to tell you guys just about some of the basic features of the online platform so you guys can get more acquainted with that. But I will jump straight to the inbox just so I can tell you guys how easy it is to speak with anybody in our online community. So if you click on the inbox and you open it, again, guys, sorry for my internet issues today. Okay, here it is. So you'll see in your inbox, you do receive these, messages, for example, from faculty, but you can also just compose a new message right here. And that's how easy it is to write a new message to anybody. So you want to first decide who you want to message, right? Of course. So let's say it is somebody who is in leadership and organizational development. You have to select one of the courses that you're studying and then choose whether or not you want to speak to a teacher or a student. Let's say you want to speak to a student named Abigail. You put that in, you put your subject, you put your message and send. It's that easy to speak with anybody. It can also, of course, be a professor, and then you compose your message and you send, and it's really, really easy. Of course, you can also send messages from your inbox area also in your, Canvas student mobile application. So you'll see that you receive these notifications. These are sort of announcements from faculty. I will touch up on that a little later on, but I did want to just show you guys how easy it is to communicate, through the inbox. And also if you actually have one of the courses open, for example, this one, there is a chat area here also. So you can chat with somebody in the course. Okay, so just send your message here and send. We even have some fun emojis for you. So there's a ton of things you can play around with and a lot of ways that you can communicate. Of course, there are email addresses as well, which you can get that info, whether it's for our success team, whether it's for professor, and so on. All right, so since I'm on that topic, I'd love to ask a question here for Nicholas first. If you can tell us if you've made any friends with, Nexford learners around the globe. Have you had any sort of networking opportunities?
Well, yes, I have had a lot of networking opportunities. I have friends all over. I have a friend in Saudi Arabia. I met her at the NXU. I have a friend in Nigeria. And of course, a close, should I say, personal relationship with one of my professors that guided me through a lot of my studies and schedules. And I feel like it's more than just a classroom experience. Sometimes people wonder that maybe when it is online or virtual, it's so distant that you don't have a personal touch with your professor. I can assure you that one of my professors, Professor Funke, is somebody I would say is like I have met her, yet I haven't. Sometimes this virtual learning may sound like purely online, and so you can't have a personal touch with your professors. Actually, no. I will tell you that it is indeed virtual, yes, but there's that relationship that you gain from networking across with your students and professors. I hope I answered you.
Yes, you certainly did, and I'm so glad that you had all those opportunities, of course, to make a lot of friends around the world. I hope it's been the same for Mornay. If you can tell us about any maybe stories, any opportunities, even if just you're reaching out to other learners for help, maybe instead of the success team. I'd love to hear your input on this also.
In South Africa, we've actually got a meeting this afternoon at 6 o'clock. We've created a little WhatsApp team in South Africa, and I think and some people from Kenya. So Nicholas, let us know if you want to join us, where we created a little I don't want to call it like, it's not really a Nexford WhatsApp team. It's like an MBA WhatsApp team where we chat about our experiences, business opportunities, what's happening in each other's lives, how are we coping. So we pick a topic every week, and then we get together on Zoom as a group, and we chat about all sorts of things. I think today is opportunities, or learning objectives or goals. What are we trying to achieve? So it's been a lot of fun, and met some cool people, and as I say, from all over Africa.
That sounds super fun. Such a great support system.
Sure.
Send an invite to everybody in the call. No, I'm kidding. All right. So guys, I will also show you one of the last features before jumping into the topic of learner benefits. Okay, and just a reminder to everybody that this call is being recorded. So if at any point you need to dash out, or you're having any technical difficulties like I did earlier, you can watch the playback, hopefully once it's uploaded on our YouTube channel. And again, if you guys have questions, we are nearing the end of the webinars. I know some of you have already sent some, and you've gotten, some answers from our great Nexford application specialist also joining us in the background today. Has been super great help. So she's been also answering your questions. So if you have any additional ones, please send them in so we can answer them live in the Q&A segment in a couple of minutes. All right, with that, I'll share my screen again, guys. Okay, so just one of the last features I want to talk about, you'll see these little 3 dots here, right, with these colors that you could change. So these are just some fun features in the online platform that you can play around with. You can even do a color overlay. So you can change how you want your platform to look like. So where is this really going to make a difference? That's going to make a difference in the calendar. So you'll find the calendar button in the navigation pane on the left side here also. If you click on that, it'll take you to the calendar, and you'll see the items in the calendar are the courses that you are enrolled in, right? And they do have these colors, which are what you can control from the main, dashboard. You'll see that there are items that get automatically added to your calendar depending on, assignment reminders and so on. And you can definitely add your own item anywhere just by clicking on it, put in your event or maybe a to-do item. If you want to make it, much more detailed, just click on more options. It'll take you to a new page where you can put in a lot more information. And the great thing is that the calendar, of course, can be synchronized with your mobile phone or your PC or your laptop. That way you're always connected and you never miss out on any important reminders or events or assignments and so on. Okay, so that is the calendar section or the calendar button right here. If you click on courses, of course, it shows you what courses you are enrolled in. Including the writing lab, which I will get to very shortly. Of course, history just shows you the last, things that you've clicked on in our online platform, so you can easily navigate back to that. And then you'll see there is this Ask NXU tool that follows you everywhere, no matter where you are in the online platform. That is also including the navigation pane, as you can see, no matter where you go. So Ask NXU is a great virtual advisor, I would say. In case you have any common questions, you feel you don't necessarily need to reach out to our team for, you feel like it's quite basic, just search for your, just type in your question here and search, and most probably you will find, a response to that. So these are our FAQs. Here are some suggested articles, for example, some Q&As for you. You'll see the responses here. And if it still doesn't answer your question, you'll most often find another point of contact, that you can reach out to for more questions. So that is the Ask NXU tool here. And next, I would like to talk to you guys finally about the writing lab. So when you click on the writing lab, it takes you to this page here with, again, these announcements at the top, which you would have seen earlier in the inbox. And I'll tell you what those are about. But the writing lab is not a course that you get enrolled in. It is a resource that you always have access to. And it is because we know that not everybody is a natural born writer. And especially for the types of assignments that you're going to be required to do with Nexford, you will be asked to use certain formatting, such as APA formatting. So if you haven't used that or heard of that before, you can learn about it here. Of course, the writing lab is the area that can also help you with, your academic writing. It can help you improve your English skills. And I'll show you the module section for it here. So these have a couple of blogs or documents, I would say, that cover many different areas such as grammar, or if you need help with paragraph structure and so on. And then we have a couple of FAQs also. And if these still don't answer the question that you have, you can go ahead and schedule a one-on-one session with our writing lab coach, Caroline Fernandez. So she's the one that you see sending out those announcements in your inbox. You'll find the announcements get pinned at the top here in the writing lab. But if you scroll to the bottom, you'll see a little introduction from Caroline and then a link here to book a one-on-one session with her. So if you click on that, it takes you to this personal booking page where you can book a 30-minute call with Caroline. So just pick the day that suits you, pick the timing also that suits you, depending on your time zone. Of course, put in your details and then just book. And it's that easy to have booked a one-on-one call with Caroline where she can answer any questions you have related to writing. So the alternative are these drop-in sessions that she regularly holds. I would say she does them every week. And I would really recommend them also because she'll often say what topics she's going to cover in these drop-in sessions, and they are not one-on-one. So this means that they can be joined by other learners from around the world. Some of them are even joined by as many as 100 learners, in one session. So I think these are super fun to join. Also, you'll hear different questions from, other learners, with the chance to meet other learners from around the world also. She will also send some material. There will be a PowerPoint presentation, and then these drop-in sessions also get recorded, so you can always watch a playback. So there's a ton of help here, and it's very regular, as you can see, and related to writing. So that is one of the many benefits and I would say, help that you get throughout your Nexford learning journey. All right, next I would just like to talk about these other buttons right here. So you'll find there is LinkedIn Learning, as well as the library. So the NXU library, if I say NXU, that stands for Nexford University. And this library right here is a robust library that you have also unlimited access to as a Nexford learner, and it covers so many different topics and industries around the world. You'll find that these include encyclopedias, they include research papers, and so much more. So you can definitely use this as a research tool while you're studying at Nexford. Again, these have over 60 million resources. So that is a lot of information that you can utilize here. Right, so that is the NXU library, and then you'll find LinkedIn Learning. So if you haven't heard of LinkedIn Learning just yet, I'm happy to tell you about it. It is, of course, in relation to LinkedIn, and it is where you as a Nexford learner can get unlimited access to over 16,000 LinkedIn Learning courses and videos, and they can cover any topic. They don't necessarily have to be related to the Nexford course that you're studying or the module that you're studying. And the great thing is that you'll find actually if they are related, some of them will be embedded in your course already. So I want to show you how, for example. So let's say you're studying this course and you go into the module. So we will often find if there is a certain LinkedIn Learning course or video that is related to the module that you're studying, we'll put that there under the expand section, right? LinkedIn Learning, for example, Change Management Foundation. So that is a LinkedIn Learning video that you can watch or a course that you can take. And of course, once you complete it, you do get a certificate of completion, which a lot of our learners find to be another great benefit because you can add that, of course, to your CV or your resume, and it does show your employer or maybe just your community that you're learning on the go. You're learning skills every day that you can apply. You're not just waiting to complete your program to apply these skills. And of course, these are just suggestions that are there in your courses, within your modules. You can definitely expand and take any other course or video. And then upon completion of certain courses at Nexford, you do also receive a digital badge with these fun names like data-driven decision maker or maybe financial decision supporter. So I know this may not make a lot of sense to those who are not studying at Nexford. The great thing is that these can be clicked on and accessed by just anyone, and it takes you to this page which shows what skills you gained in order to receive this digital badge, right? So it's verified and everything, and it even shows the earning criteria. So it does prove that you have learned specific skills in order to be awarded this digital badge. All right, so that is just some of the benefits. And then finally, and last but not least, I will jump into the career services portal that we have at Nexford. And this is also to answer any questions you might have about how exactly are we going to be assisting you with your career, right? So aside from, of course, the job skills that you're learning within your Nexford program, there is LinkedIn Learning, which I've already discussed. So you'll find that here on this page. And then if you are based in Africa, and luckily a lot of you on the call today, I believe, are based in Africa, you will also get access to IBM Digital Nation Africa. This is kind of similar to LinkedIn Learning, but it does cover more tech-related courses. So if you're more into maybe programming or cybersecurity or AI, then this is definitely the place for you. And then there is Localized. So this is one of our many offerings. Localized is a great platform where you can create a profile for yourself. You can get connected with career coaches and mentors around the world. You can even join virtual career fairs. So I recommend you guys check this out also to learn more about this platform that you also get unlimited access to. All right, and just definitely anybody can access this page, right? So it's nexford.org/career. So I recommend you check it out to learn more about how we help you with reskilling, upskilling, how we can even help you with, job application and career planning and so much more. And also, I do want to tell you guys about the global grid. So this is one of the many things that we also offer. Okay, so you can visit the global grid, on our website also, and you shall see here that it is a mentorship program that we launched, last year, I believe, and it is to enable talent around the world to prepare for remote jobs. So you'll find that there are these webinars that can be joined by anyone. There are these live webinars that are open to the public. And if you are already in our mailing list, then definitely you are receiving notifications about these, or you can just check out our events page to know when we have upcoming webinars, as we regularly do. But then there are these group mentorship sessions that are available, that are only exclusive for Nexford learners, of course. You'll find that our mentors come from all around the world, and they are handpicked for their industry expertise and work in companies like Samsung and Coca-Cola. And then we also have Forage. So we've also partnered up with Forage. It's a career resource where you can get virtual work experience at real companies like JP Morgan and Accenture. All right, and what's great is that this can complement your learning as you get to apply the skills that you learn. And you can actually choose to submit these task submissions to recruiters, which can definitely lead to interview opportunities for internships. That is just some of the many career-related benefits that you get at Nexford. If you guys have any questions about them, of course, please send them into the Q&A section, as we are getting to answer questions very soon. Yeah, speaking about all of that, I would love to hear again, from Mornay and Nicholas a little more, since we are nearing the end of the tour here. So I'll start with Nicholas. If you can just tell everybody about your Nexford learning journey. What were some of your favorite parts? What were some of your challenges, perhaps?
Well, thank you once again. My Nexford learning journey has been from Mornay, since I would say is such an experience. I would say that it's such a good experience. Being virtual, meaning you learn on the go. And so my schedules haven't been mad with my classes. I'm able to go to work, and that. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes, you can.
Okay. So the flexibility is one of the things that I would say is a plus to this. And then, of course, the fees. The fees isn't that high. You can pay in installments. Pay like $100. Sometimes you may get a subsidy. If you're lucky, maybe $72. And so this is such an experience that I may pay without much struggle, since I have all the 30 days to look for the money to pay. So my experience with Nexford is kind of learning that I would do even without anybody around me knowing that I've been studying. Get it? So I'm able to go to school at the same time I'm working, then I'm able to pay easily in installments every month. Well, I also have an interaction with the team, the WhatsApp groups, our local WhatsApp groups, the global WhatsApp groups, the class WhatsApp groups. So you interact with quite a myriad of people across the globe, from your professors, your learners, and the networking, career networking teams, the LinkedIns. So another thing that I like with the Nexford is that the library, there are a lot of resources. I find a lot of learning resources in the library. I discovered a lot of other resources within the modules. So I would recommend this. Don't need to buy a lot of the books we used to buy in the other modules. yeah, you get everything that is already saved specifically for your course. So you don't have to research those humongous books that we used to carry around. I would say that the study is a market-ready study. You study what you really need for your career, for your business, whatever that you're studying for.
All right, fantastic. Thanks a lot for sharing that, Nicholas. Definitely, there's a ton of benefits, and you definitely touched up on that also, and that's definitely helped, I think, your Nexford learning journey and experience so far. So I'm glad that you found it, so pleasant, I would say, so positive. I wish to hear the same, of course, from Mornay. If you can tell everybody, how Nexford or your Nexford program has changed your life so far, in your opinion.
Definitely. Thanks, May. Changed my life. Wow, that sounds a little dramatic, but I think my personal life, in that I have very little time to do anything else, but I am loving it. And in my professional life, wow, I mean, it would be wonderful if I noticed a change, which I have, and I'll explain that now. But what's been super duper awesome is that my CEO has also noticed that like something's happening, and she's super excited, and she actually has a meeting with me tomorrow afternoon to help me with one of my projects, because I just was mentioning it to her, and I think it's about the ethical decision tree thing, and she's like, that sounds so interesting, let's meet and chat about it. So it's really changed in that, I think differently about things. I think in a more of a business perspective. I go more in depth to things. And I just take something like leadership roles and understanding leadership roles. And I've been doing this with my team. And, before it's like, yeah, I'm a transformational leader, or I'm a coaching leader, and that's great. But then understanding, well, actually, how does your team respond to that leadership type? So it's going just that little step further, isn't it? So it's great to know that you're a coaching leader, but how's your team interacting with that? So for me, it's just, and that's, I mean, I've written down so many things, but just for instance, I mean, I don't enjoy analytics or economics. I'm a designer. I find it extremely hard, but my word, I think it's the course I communicate the most with my team and talk about probability reporting and data-driven decision-making. And I just, my vocabulary's changed. Yeah, so if you say, how's it changed my life? I mean, yeah, it's unbelievable. Like I said to you guys when we were chatting before, before everybody joined us, it was, you want to stop because it's hard, and it's nice, to not study, but I can't afford to. I'm learning too much. So that's
incredible. That's incredible. So glad to hear that, and a very, very honest review. I love that, and definitely it is a challenge, but the fact that you've powered through because of the benefits you've been getting so far is really what it's all about. So that's fantastic, Mornay. All right. I think the last two things, or one thing I think I'd like to ask each of you, starting with Nicholas again, is if you can just give some final advice for any aspiring learners, thinking to hopefully study with us at Nexford.
Well, for the aspiring learners at Nexford, I would advise you that you should consider taking up your spaces. For one, you'll be able to enjoy the flexibility in the study schedules. You'll be able to find the flexibility in payments, a lot of resources, so much studies on the go, like she just said. I've acquired a lot of certificates, the leadership skills, the ethics, and then moral skills. You get a lot of certificates along the way for the people that are employed. Those who want to climb up the ladder of careers, you get a lot of more other certifications along the way. So by the time you complete your MBA, when you say your degree, you'll have a lot more other things that you have achieved. Communication skills, analytical skills. So I would really advise anybody that wants to do this, take it up. Because it is 100% virtual, so that doesn't mean that means you won't have to travel here and there going to class. You can study on your journey, you can study from wherever you are, anytime. I'm sure it is.
Amazing, amazing. Thanks a lot for that, Nicholas. Yeah, definitely some things to think about, guys. There's a lot of benefits as you get to study at Nexford. So I'd love to hear from Mornay on this also. Any final advice for current or learners?
I think, yeah, just do it, because it's like we say, it's going to be tough, but you guys are so engaging. I don't even think you could go to a university where you attend class and get this kind of engagement. As I've said, the career advisors are always, if it isn't Camille answering me, there's definitely somebody else. And like you say, I think because of the time zones, there's always somebody engaging, even although sometimes I've had an urgent request or urgent question, I've been answered. There's a real human factor. So exactly like Nicholas is saying, it's online, but you don't feel that way. It kind of feels like you're part of a little community, and except you're huge, right? And so I think just do it, because I have not had a tutor not respond to me. I've not had a tutor not meet with me. I've actually been in one-on-one or meetings when, the tutor, I think Dr. Bull was alluding to it, when they, I think twice every month they do a check-in. I've actually twice been in that check-in and been the only student. And the tutor has spoken to me, and so you feel quite special considering you're the only person in that meeting. And so, everybody has been so kind and gracious and inviting. And I think you wouldn't do better at a contact university, really.
Fantastic.
And they don't even pay me, I pay them.
That is a great way to put it, for sure. Thanks a lot more. That's a lot of insight I think we have for you from from our learners as well. Of course, Dr. Bill. So we can take questions now. I don't see that we have a lot. I do see we have some that have already been answered by our team. So I will take this one though here from Emma Akita, who's asking how many courses can be taken at a time. I was about to ask a question regarding writing style and referencing for the assignments, but mine just showed the writing lab. So I guess that will address my concerns with assignments. The writing lab is an impressive resource. Thank you for creating it. That's fantastic. Well, I'm glad you enjoyed the writing lab. For sure, it's there to help you. In regards to how many courses can be taken at a time, the maximum is 4 courses at the same time. Right, most people, if they try to speed it up, they may take 1 to 2 or maybe 3 courses. So to be able to take 4 courses at the same time, you need to have a total GPA of 4.0. So that is the highest, right? So the higher your grades are, the higher your GPA is, and the more number of courses you'll be allowed to take at the same time. So you need to be able to prove, of course, that you have the capability to take more than 1 course at the same time. So definitely don't pressure yourself, right? Everybody has their own pace. So we do practice a, flexible pace structure at Nexford. I think somebody I saw earlier was asking about that on chat also. So again, I want to underline flexible pace, not self-paced, right? And there is a difference there. So what does that mean? You can, of course, study faster or slower, but there is a deadline. So every course at Nexford needs to be completed within 8 weeks. So that is 2 months. Right, so that is the maximum. You can finish it in 1 month. You can take more than 1 course at the same time. So imagine finishing 4 courses every month or 4 courses every 2 months. That is definitely much faster than just going 1 course at a time and finishing that every 2 months. But again, it depends on your goals. It depends on your own ability, your schedule, and of course, your total grade. So I hope that answers, some, the questions that some of you may have. What else? I believe that is related also to the second question we have here from Andreas, who's saying, what is the typical course length until the final assignments? I saw the screen that shows the timeline from module 1 to module 6, and it is about 60-ish days. That is correct. So that is 2 months, 8 weeks specifically. And is that the typical length of 1 course? And can a learner expedite the process? For example, a full-time learner has more time than part-time learner. Thanks in advance for the answer. So I did already answer that, but I'd love some maybe elaboration from Mornay or maybe Dr. Bill, if you guys would like to give more advice, especially the learners. I think Nicholas or Mornay, if you have tried to speed up a course, have you guys tried to experience that, to take more than one course at the same time?
I have. I took 2, and it was a little hectic. I'm not going to lie. Yeah, and so say, can you speed it up? I don't think you can, because there's specific modules handed in at a specific time. I have been quite far in advance, and I've had a fantastic tutor who actually marked it as I was going, so that's great. But otherwise, I think Dr. Bill will agree that it's you only have to mark at that time. So if your tutor's feeling really like they have absolutely nothing to do, I suppose they start marking. So that's been nice. I've had feedback, but yeah, the 2 is hectic. But yes, but absolutely, if you're not working and you'll keep I think the amount of courses got to do with your GPA, right? And so then depending on your GPA, the amount of courses you can take then increases. So your success advisor will invite you and say, well, you can now take 2 or 3 or 4, but it's hectic if you're working.
Some of the other considerations, and Mornay is exactly right. A lot of it comes into also is your speed, your writing ability, your speed of learning. That is actually more of a determinant factor in how fast you complete the program. The program's there to be completed. Now, I did see an earlier question about we claim to be self-paced, yet we have due dates and so on. Yes, we do. And there's a very good reason for that. In our world, we have accreditation concerns. And to meet our accreditation standards, we just can't have students in one course for a year. That doesn't meet the standards of accreditation. So we have to have time limits. The flexibility that we demonstrate is in the terms of number of courses you can take, number of courses you want to take, what hours of the day you want to study, what days of the week is best for you to study. So that is how we define flexibility, but we need to have the checkpoints of due dates of certain standards, just like we have academic standards, we have writing standards, we have time standards, all part of our accreditation requirements. So if we didn't do that, we feel our quality would decrease. So it's a thin line. It's hard to determine. Where is it always the same? No, but predominantly the flexibility is focused on you, your time, and your ability to do it. Yes, we've had students complete this program extremely fast, at lightning speed. We have others who take longer. That's the flexibility we address in this course, but we do not sacrifice the quality of the education to achieve more flexibility.
Very, very true. I could not have said it better myself. Thanks a lot, Dr. Bill. And speaking of super fast, yeah, we're talking about, people finishing in half the time, some people taking the BBA, for example, the average duration is 4 years. Some people have completed it in 2 years. So we do have BBA graduates that were able to complete it in 2 years. Same applies for the MBA. If the average duration is 1.5 years, people have finished in a year, in less than a year. So again, it depends on all of the things that Dr. Bill has mentioned.
And the typical answer, I really didn't answer Mornay's point. The typical time, and many students find 2 courses doable if you're a working adult with family. If you have lesser responsibilities elsewhere, you can increase that, providing you maintain your GPA. So again, it's a very individual thing on that answer.
Very true, very true. Like I remember that story we had of I think that Egyptian graduate now, but he was a learner, and it was during the pandemic, and I think it was maybe he took a break from work, or he wasn't working, and he probably didn't or sleep much, and he just went super hard on the MBA.
That was a fast one. I do remember that.
Yes, it was like 5 or 6 months. So that
yeah, I heard. I thought it was an urban legend that somebody had done it in 4 months. Yeah, I was like, how? Yeah,
not 4, but I heard, I think 6 or 7, wasn't it, Mine?
Yeah,
is it urban legend then?
Yeah,
it is an urban legend. Yeah.
I don't think we could do the paperwork in 4 months.
I just want to add there what Dr. Bill said is even if you're going to take more, find out what the next course is, because I know that I thought, oh, this is cool, I'm breezing through this, and then suddenly I got law and economics together, and I was like, what? So it also depends. There's some of the modules that are going to be like you're going to have an affinity to, and then there's some of them that you're going to go, oh wow, I'm going to have to spend so much longer at this. So I think it's also knowing what's coming up that's important before you make that decision.
Yes, it's very, very true. Yeah, so that way keep organized, keep an eye out what is upcoming, right? So that, you're not just taking it by surprise as you go through the program, for sure. All right, I see a question here from Gloria. It says, good day, please. I want to know the following. Number one, the duration for your certificate courses and the courses you have in this category. And then number two, if the respective certificate courses could build up in the long run to eventually culminate into a master's degree, haven't completed the modules. Okay, so the first part, what I can say is our certificate courses, the average duration for those are 5 months, but you can complete them, I think, in a minimum of 3 months with a maximum of 8 months. Again, that falls back to the flexible pay structure that we practice, right? So those can be for the certificate courses. As for what we have in the category, we have a lot. So I recommend you check out our website to see which ones we offer. We have some that are tech related, that are I think in possibly also HR, sustainability, so much. So I recommend you check out our website for the different courses and certificates that we have. If you're talking the certificate courses, then like I said, those are the average duration. If you're talking about single courses, those last 1 to 2 months, right? And those we have so much more. So also check out our website. As for taking certificate courses and then having them build up to the MBA, that is definitely possible because we do practice we do have a stackable credentials kind of system, right, at Nexford. So if you do take a short certificate, if you do take a single course that is already included in the MBA curriculum, eventually, if you decide to enroll in the MBA, you can finish way faster because you will not be asked to repeat the same courses that you've already taken. So that is one way you can go about it. I hope I've answered that, Gloria. Right. What else? I see a question on chat from Bernard. Please, how many courses are offered altogether to complete an MBA? So the minimum is 12, right? There are 12 courses in the MBA you need to complete. And that includes, of course, whether or not you go for a general MBA or an MBA with a specialization. All right, what else? Gloria, do you run PhD programs? Unfortunately, we do not currently run PhD programs or postgraduate programs. So the MBA is the highest qualification we currently offer. Of course, we do plan on adding new programs in the future. So once we do, we will definitely announce those. Great. Judah, can one choose which course to do at any given time, or are they predetermined by faculty? Okay, this sounds like a faculty question, Dr. Bill, if you could help answer this.
There is some flexibility in the order. I would caution you about doing that. Sometimes, in many cases, we are progressive format in terms of one course builds for the next, but sometimes unusual set things happen and your schedule gets altered. So it is flexible, but you can discuss that with your advisor and so on. But generally speaking, I prefer the order in which they're presented, but there is flexibility to change that around because life happens, things get delayed. Sometimes you can't finish a course. So there is a flexibility to do that without major complications, I should add. It's just the preferred versus, well, the almost preferred way of doing it.
Very true. Very true. All right. So we've answered that. I think that is all the questions that we've gotten. I see one being answered already right now by our team. And I think we need to cap the webinar here, guys. Like, there's a lot of questions, and I do apologize if we weren't able to get to all of it. Of course, if you have any additional questions, make sure to send it to our team. So Nicholas, I believe you wanted to say something.
Yeah, there's somebody asked a question if there's a difference between executive MBA and the normal MBA. Did you answer that?
Yes, it was answered previously by our team. at the top. Yeah, this was responded to. Thanks, Nicholas.
Sure.
All right. So as you can see, guys, again, if we missed anything, just check out the contact info we've just sent to you on chat. We hope to assist you further, of course, with any questions that you may have. Our team will be super excited to speak with you. And I hope you guys enjoyed the Nexford virtual tour today. I know I did. I hope also Mornay and Nicholas and Dr. Bill that you did too. Thanks a lot for joining me today and making this virtual tour much more enjoyable. Good evening, I guess, to Nicholas, and good day to Dr. Bill and Mornay. That is it, guys. Do look forward to the recording for this also, and I hope everybody else has a good day or good evening. All right, thanks,
Thank you
guys.
Thank
so
you.
much.
Have a good day,
Thank
everyone.
you.
Bye.
Bye.